Now, it sucks, obviously, yeah, when you're sick. It's the worst feeling in the world. But I've noticed every time, anytime, when you do get sick, it's the most time that you actually do spend probably when you're actually alone. Like alone away from people, from, your job or your work. And, excuse me, sorry. I've noticed that it's almost like you have a lot of time on your hands, and it's like for me it's hard to, like, yes, I want to get better, get over this cold or whatever it is, I'm not sure, but at the same time it's like I want to keep myself busy even in the time that I am sick, just to be useful, just to do something. And I'm probably going to be quarantined in my house this whole week. This whole series of videos that I wanted to do is pretty much post one video a day, a week in the life of pretty much how I am right now, trying to recover from the sickness, and then kind of show you guys my creating process of what I do on a daily basis when I'm not working. But so that's why I wanted to take advantage of me actually being sick and pretty much keeping myself busy for the next 5 days, which, again, just want to try to do as much as I can being at home. So I hope you guys check out the rest of this video. So usually when I start, thinking about my next video, or like videos to post, first I just got to first tidy up. I first got to make sure I have a clear head, whether that's, mentally or physically, if there's things around me and I need to clear out of the way or just tidy up. That's the first thing I do, because it's so hard for me to sometimes even do videos, just to even post a video like this, because it's like if my head's not in the right space, I can't concentrate, and I get worked up thinking about the mess around me, or I think about like a water bottle that I never finished that's just been sitting next to my bed or something, and it's just like there's trash around me or whatever. Those are the things that I get worked up on, and for me, usually when I first try to come up with the next idea, I just sit and kind of watch YouTube videos and try to get inspiration. I mean, YouTube is so helpful now, and it's just grown into one of the biggest platforms in social media, and just letting, kind of your ideas and your creative, your creative ideas come to life. And, you get influenced a lot by other people, and, there's a lot of inspirations that I try to take from, other YouTubers and other people that are trying to, make it out there and express themselves through any kind of art forms, whether that's vlogging or whether that's, making cinematic stories, or, even for me, even musicians and stuff like that. It's things that I find all the time on YouTube, and it's a constant, I just want to feed, basically I want to feed myself all this information, at least, because it feels like, when you watch a YouTube video, it almost feels like you're watching like a course, like a class. It could be, it could be any kind of form, whether it's documentation or someone vlogging or someone, talking about their day or whatever. And so that's usually how it goes, at least for me in the beginning. I try to get inspired by, other creative ideas that I see on socials, and then on YouTube, and then pretty much, I just want to take that and then incorporate my own, style, or incorporate my own concept for the next video, which I am going to explain right here today. So stay tuned. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today, this video, sorry, my voice is a little gone because I'm sick, actually. Currently, right now, I'm trying to get over this cold. I think it's something else, but just wanted to do this video for you guys today, kind of just walk you guys through pretty much like, I guess, the process of when I come up with a YouTube video or a actual, you know, like a concept or an idea or a story. And these are some of the pointers and some of the tips that maybe if anybody out there that's, you know, again, like creating a YouTube videos and you're trying to get followers, which I am currently trying, you know, I'm trying to go through the process of trying to take those steps to you know, again, to I guess get better and better at. And pretty much some of these steps are, you know, whatever mood I'm feeling, you know, in whatever I feel like posting, like, but yeah, like, so today I wanted to do like sort of like an informative video, something that's educational and something that I can give you guys pointers and tips on, you know, to a better working efficient channel, I guess you would say. And, you know, and again, I'm still learning. This is all still new to me. And again, even 5 years of YouTube, you would, you know, some people, you know, they get the algorithm really fast, but I don't know, maybe for me, it's taking longer, obviously, but I'm not in a rush. That's the thing. Like, I'm doing this because it's part of the journey. Like, I'm literally just documenting like most of my daily life of what I do, what I like, what I don't like, who I am as a person, what I express myself on, like different mediums, whether that's through film, whether that's through drumming, whether that's through, you know, expressing some sort of like painting or something artistic or anything like that. It goes back to first like your story or your ideas. Usually after the idea or the concept, you know, I try to come up with the next step, which is, you know, you come up with either your shot list, if you write it out, or you storyboard, you know, draw it out or something. And usually sometimes I will write out my shot list or you know, so, or at least if I don't write, or if I don't draw it out, I'll at least write it out. Like, okay, opening shot is this, or ending shot is this, pan in, pan left to right, whatever, etc. But sometimes I will get like a piece of paper, and I know it's like doodle scratch and doesn't look the best. It's like stick figure drawing basically, but it's only to help me orchestrate what ideas I kind of want. So in the beginning of this video, it was literally just me sleeping. There's a shot of the clock, back to me sleeping, and then it, you know, cuts to the garage door opening, and then boom, we're on the road, and then pretty much starting my vlog or my day or whatever. But that's usually like the second part of an idea that comes about, you know, in making like a YouTube video. And again, YouTube videos could be a span of all sorts. I mean, yeah, if you're in the artistic realm, like what I'm trying to aim for, it could be like a vlogging video, or it could be a, you know, like a cinematic vlog, which is still even just as hard. And then, or making like a music cover video where everything is like in sync with the music, and then filming yourself playing, you know, whatever instrument that you play, trying to do a cover. Or again, even making just like a short film, like something that's like almost even like a feature film in a way, but or just little short films in general. And that's usually kind of like those are like the templates that I try to follow, at least for my page. I try to dabble into a little bit of those genres of different concepts for, you know, making YouTube videos again. And then, you know, pretty much the next thing would also come into play is like, okay, maybe you don't have your shots planned out. Maybe you can find some good lighting, you know, for instance. I mean, like even in this shot, you know, I have a backlight, front light right here. And again, it's nothing too fancy. There's really nothing else going on in this frame itself, only because, yeah, I'm just talking straight to the camera. But obviously, yeah, like if you were making a short film, or even if you were making like a cinematic vlog, those are things that obviously, yeah, you want to have planned out, whether you get some lights, you know, you could get even a basic lamp, or, you know, if you have your own gear, if you can buy yourself your own lighting gear, that's even great, you know what I mean? But for YouTube videos, like talking to the camera, you need to at least just have some sort of backlight, and then your main front light, which is hitting me right here. It's giving me half the shadow, you know what I mean? And then if you wanted to have something else over here, accenting, maybe have two different colors, have like, this is like yellow and then like blue or something like that. But, I mean, you know, like, again, it just depends on what type of video you're going for. If you were going for like a more cinematic and like filming like a short film, then yeah, you want to plan out each shot and plan out the lighting and how does that accent well with this and that. And so, yeah, it's a lot of like in film, like what I've learned about being like on a set, like on a film production, is like, it's about like hitting your mark basically. And that goes with everything. That's the way I look at it, even in this editing for the video. And it even comes down to even like color grading, you know, whether you want this to be more sharper or do you want to add a filter. And I'm always big on filters for me, because back then, it's just, I didn't know how to edit. I really didn't. And some of the media tools that I used, which was, you know, like iMovie, that is still one of my first editing videos to make like a YouTube video. That's kind of what I started out with. Just learning how to edit, just learning how to like basically cut and paste or add like a certain kind of a look right here, or a filter, or just a simple basic. I highly suggest, you know, when it comes to editing, you want to find the best tool to use to edit your platforms for your videos. And, you know, there's so many. Again, yeah, iMovie was one of my first ones I started out with. And then I use a Final Cut Pro. So it's basically like iMovie, but just a little bit more upscale, little bit more options and choices and more detail things that you could find. And yeah, it's such a great useful tool. I think Final Cut Pro was like about a $300 purchase. It's a one-time purchase. And again, yeah, there's all kinds of editing tools. I mean, there's like DaVinci, and then I think there's like a real expensive one. I think there's a free one, and then there's an expensive one. And then there's like a Premiere, Adobe, I think it's Premiere or something like that. So, I mean, there's all kinds of editing softwares that you want to use to, you know, make videos and such. But like I said, it's the preference that you're going for. If you're trying to go for something more simpler and just like a PowerPoint, I would say iMovie's like perfect. And then if you want to like make tiny little cinematic things, you know, you can go Final Cut Pro or DaVinci or Adobe. The list is endless. So those are things to, you know, kind of think about as far as like you want to get everything in order for your videos. And lastly would probably be like your pre-production, and pretty much just trying to see what everything looks like in a visual aspect. So if you're trying to reference something else, like whether you're referencing other films or you're referencing other like YouTube videos too, I mean, that's good too. And sometimes even for me, like I would even get like my whiteboard, or I would put pictures of like this film or this film. I'm taking this part of this scene of this film. And again, it could be like pictures. You can post pictures or whatever. And, you know, it just, if there are these concepts in your head, and that's usually simpler, or even simpler, which is just watching movies. And I'm always trying to think of ideas when it comes to like basically like getting ideas from movies. But most of the time sometimes it's other YouTubers and other platforms that are doing exactly what I do, and trying to, you know, we try to make it in our own original way and try to tell our own concept and stories and ideas in our own originality. But again, that's pretty much like the 5 basic steps to creating like a YouTube video. And you know, again, it's very simple. Like I said, the ideas, the stories, the concepts. You have your shot list, the storyboards, the lighting, and then your editing software, and then pretty much your pre-production. So like I said, yeah, this video is just to be informative and just kind of throw it out there for anybody that appreciates, you know, coming up with ideas back to back to back. Yeah, there's just, like I said, everything is all different types of medium concepts, whether it's talking about, you know, a concept, giving information, or you're vlogging about something, you're vlogging about your day, or making a cinematic vlog, or a or making like a short film or something like that. So yeah, everything has its mediums and everything has its lane of where they stand out each. So yeah, hopefully you guys liked this video. Hopefully it was helpful, and like I said, take it or leave it. There's no harm and no foul. If you watch the video, and like I said, it helps me, it helps get the views, and like I said, it's to establish that this is a YouTube video and this is what it's about. We're all on this journey together. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Shrey, bro.